Would you feel comfortable to hug another man? And I'm not talking about a brotherly hug where you hold hands and it cross across both of your chests and one arm on the other person's back and hug like that. I'm talking about a real hug, hands around each other and heart to heart hug. Would you feel comfortable to do that as a man? Back in 2018, I was having a conversation with one of my soldiers, and this soldier was known to be a troublemaker. He's always in issues, a lot of personal issues that also affected how he performed his duty. And we sat and we spoke for a while. And this soldier opened up. He opened up about the issues that were affecting him in his personal life and how he was making all of these attempts to improve his life, improve his situation, but yet still he keep running into obstacles. And I paid close attention to him. I listened, I gave a bit of counseling, I asked questions just to get a bit deeper, to really get a clearer picture. At the end of the conversation, I expected him to salute, thank me, and walked off. But instead, he opened his arms and I hugged him. I could feel him holding back the tears. And for me, that was the first time I had ever hugged another man like that. A real heart-to-heart hug. And I wondered, how many times do we as men hug another man? How many times do we sit and really connect with another man and be comfortable? I'm not talking about in a sexual way. I'm speaking about as brothers. Are we comfortable to connect with another brother like that? And that is why I want to speak on this topic of strength and sensitivity in a man. As men, we know that it is important to be strong, that strength has to be one of our characteristics, because with strength gives us that ability to function under pressure. It gives us that courage to be under fire, and in some instances to run into fire. Strength is that leadership ability, that ability to stand firm in the midst of crisis and give direction and give support. Strength to protect our loved ones, to protect society, to provide as well. Strength and manhood is synonymous. And I know that there's a movement in society that often speaks to the negative effects of strength in a man. And there's a push for manhood to not exhibit that strength that is synonymous with being a man. Because there's this belief that strong man is no longer needed in society. But here is my take on this. Never accept any narrative that points in that direction, that there is no need for a strong man, that as men, we should not be exhibiting our strength. We need strength. Society needs strong men. We need men who would defend our communities, defend our nations. We need men to be soldiers, to be warriors, who are going to stand between the rest of society and those who intend to destroy society. We need men to be able to run into a building and to save that 93-year-old woman. We need men who would be comfortable to put their life on the line in order to protect others. So never accept that narrative that there is no need for a man of strength. There is no need for strong men. That is a false narrative. But we also run the risk of strength in the going in an extreme direction. That's in terms of suppression of emotions that need to dominate others and violence. That is on the extreme side of strength. So it is important that we are able to manage that aspect. The other side to manhood is sensitivity. That ability to be empathetic to others, to be able to be more self-aware of self, to connect with others, and to truly and to use emotional intelligence in our interactions with others. Those are so sensitivity and strength exists in all men. On the extreme side of sensitivity is the aspect of where one may be indecisive, or he may not know how to establish boundaries, or he can find himself being a pushover, always willing to concede and not stand for what he believes in because he thinks that if he does that, he's going to affect others in a negative way. That sense of putting himself last and not really fighting for what he believes in. That is on the extreme end of sensitivity. So where do we move forward with strength and sensitivity in manhood? Both aspects are important, are critical for you as a man to be able to be strong, but to also be sensitive. It is not a case of either or, where you can either be strong or you can either be sensitive. That may be the narrative that is often pushed in social media, that is now being celebrated in society in terms of the aspect of strength, where it is the alpha male and he's ultra competitive, he disregards his emotions, and he's aggressive in everything that he's doing. And on the other side of the spectrum is that sensitive guy, that guy who rolls over and plays the nice guy for everything, plays the nice guy in everything for everyone. There needs to be a balance. I think that it is important as men that we are able to embrace our strong side, embrace our strength, because it makes us who we are, men. It is a part of our manhood. But on the other side, there is sensitivity, and we cannot neglect that aspect of ourselves. It is that yin and yang that exists within us. Just as we need strength, we also need sensitivity. We also need that ability to be vulnerable. So it isn't a case of we should choose strength over sensitivity, or we should choose sensitivity over strength. It is being able to find that balance, to embrace both sides of us, our strong side and our sensitive side. Do not be that individual. Let us not be men who think that being sensitive is a sign of weakness. So we must be strong all the time. We must be able to exhibit our strength. We have to find that balance to embrace both our strength as well as our sensitive side. So here is my challenge to you. If you naturally lean to that strong side of you, find an area in your life where you could exhibit a sense of sensitivity, that sense of vulnerability. And likewise, if you tend to lean towards the sensitive side, find an area in your life where you could really exhibit your strength, that side of your manhood. Because the reality of it is, both sides are important in manhood. We need strong men, but we also need men who are also sensitive. We need that combination. I think that is what is important. That is what society needs. Society doesn't need that ultra strong man who does not have that soft side. And society certainly does not need that super sensitive man who cannot embrace his strength. We need both sides. I think that it is necessary that we embrace both our strong side as well as our sensitive side. What we need to do is understand when we should be strong as well as when we should be sensitive. To be able to differentiate, we can't always be strong in every situation, and we certainly can't always be sensitive. There are times when we need to exhibit strength as well as times when we need to exhibit that sense of sensitivity. So let me know, what are your thoughts on strength and sensitivity in manhood? How can you embrace these both sides of you? And if you find this content valuable, then join the community. We are building a community of mission-driven men. Men who are ready to deal with the aspects of themselves that they may be afraid to look at, but also men who believe that they have more to offer in this world and are willing to take their rightful place. If you want to see more, check out this next video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, brother.